parts of the ship and all the discarded parts and reassembled them into the ship again. Which one is the real ship of Theseus? So now you have all the original parts that form one ship, and you have all the new parts of the ship that you replaced. Which one is the real one? What do you think, Daniel? Any thoughts? Luna, what do you think? Which one is the real ship? Does anyone want to take a guess? Which one's the real one? Ryan, what do you think? The old one is the real one? So let me ask you, if you're a new you, is the real you actually 6th grade? 6 years old? Could be 1st grade, but which one is it? When you were 6 years old or now? Which one is the real you? Now? What? So you're saying that the new ship of Theseus is the real Theseus ship, and the other one is what? Trash?
Yeah. No, but technically they're both me.
They're both you. Ah, interesting. So this is called Theseus' paradox. Basically, it's supposed to be unsolvable because it's a paradox. Okay? Alright, so what is modernism? Modernism started at the 20th century. The world was changing fast, new technologies, massive cities, devastating world war shook people's confidence. In old beliefs, artists and writers began to ask, what does it mean to live in a world where everything feels uncertain? Okay? This question sparked a movement called modernism. Modernism is a literary and artistic movement that broke away from traditional ways of thinking and writing. Instead of clear storylines, happy endings, and heroic characters, modernist writers focused on confusion, isolation, and the complicated thoughts inside people's minds. They believed that the old ways of telling stories no longer fit the modern world. Do you guys feel that's true? Right? Stories don't necessarily have to be like a hero's journey. It doesn't necessarily have to have a plot, right? A story can have many different facets to it. That makes it a bit confusing, just like your lives. Okay, so some key beliefs. Any questions? Okay. Key beliefs. Break from tradition. Modernist writers rejected classical structures, linear plots, and predictable resolutions. Okay? Themes of alienation and disconnection. Characters often feel isolated or detached from society, their families, or even themselves. Good. Fragmentation. Stories may be non-linear, told out of order, filled with gaps, mimicking disjointedness of modern life. So what does this mean? Have you guys ever watched a movie where the main character says, yep, that's me, laying in a puddle of blood, laying on the floor? It wasn't always like this, but it changed since that one point that happened 20 years ago. And it rewinds, right? That is not a linear plot, is it? It tells you the end first and then goes back through the story, right? This is fragmentation, okay? Non-linear. We're jumping around different timelines, okay? All right, stream of consciousness. This is a narrative technique that basically mimics the natural flow of the character's thoughts and feelings, right? In a story, you don't know what the hero is feeling, right? You just describe what the hero is doing. So, this type of writing comes from modernism, okay? Where we start to write what the character thinks, what they feel, what do they imagine, okay? We get to see inside their mind, right? Unreliable narrators, narrators whose perspectives may be biased, distorted, or mentally unstable. Challenging readers to question truth and reality. So what does this mean? Okay? How do you question reality? Does anyone know what that means? Question reality? Anybody? Tiffany, what does it mean to question reality? You don't know? Okay. Anybody know what reality is? Daisy, what's reality?
The thing that's in front of you right now.
Is it? Is what I'm seeing actually true and real?
Reality.
How do I know that you are real?
You don't.
I don't know you're real. You could be a figment of my imagination. You could be a hallucination. So, have you guys ever seen a movie where a character is talking to another character, and throughout the entire movie, they